Shopify Vice President Lauren Padelford put it well when he likened the COVID-19 pandemic to being like a time machine. He suggested what it did is it brought 2030 forward to 2020, and I reckon he's absolutely spot on. There is no doubt that recent times have been tumultuous and challenging. I mean, hey, disruption has become a very real, very tangible concept to all of us. And yet, times of crisis create great opportunity for those that are prepared. As this storm subsides and a new era dawns, smart leaders recognize that now is the time to gear up for what comes next. In this new book, The New Now, I help audiences unpack some of the key trends that we've seen accelerate since the outset of the pandemic. Just to put a spotlight on some of those trends, number one, a change in consumer expectations and habits. This one is huge. Throughout the course of the pandemic, 3 in 4 consumers tried out a new way of shopping, many of them using e-commerce for the very first time in a meaningful way. 70% of those consumers plan to keep those habits moving forward. Now, this is not to say that traditional bricks and mortar commerce will disappear, but what consumers are now looking for has changed, and this has implications we simply cannot afford to ignore. Our second big trend is around the theme of technological acceleration. The pandemic saw artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and quantum computing technology come ahead in leaps and bounds. This is having an enormous influence in making big data usable, and it opens up a range of exciting possibilities for a whole host of businesses and industries. A third trend looks at the whole theme of demographic change, especially the rise of Generation Z or Generation Z. We've been focused on millennials for a whole lot of years now, but 2020 marked the year that Generation Z began graduating from university and college. And this is a generational cohort that are a force to be reckoned with. They are 35% of the global population. They wield $143 billion in consumer spending power, but they're different. They have their own unique set of expectations, attitudes, and values. They are buying different things in different ways and for different reasons. This generation are your future marketplace and your future workforce. Now is the time to get your head around what makes them tick so that you can engage them in a meaningful way. A fourth major trend I look at in the book is the whole discussion around how we work and how that has changed. It's hard to overstate just how significant the great COVID work from home experiment will be when we look back on it in the years to come. Prior to the pandemic, only 5% of workdays were worked remotely or from home. This changed overnight as COVID hit. And hey, the genie is well and truly out of the bottle. According to Gartner, 82% of employers plan to keep their remote work arrangements for the years to come. This has massive implications for things like collaboration, culture, mentoring, and workforce planning. And these are just a few of the themes that I highlight in this new book. I also explore why trust will be the key commodity of the 21st century and the power of prioritizing sustainability in a genuine and meaningful way. In addition, readers will gain insights into trends such as the everything as a service revolution, the power of mass personalization, and the latest developments in the field of nanotechnology, which is extraordinary and exciting in itself. The COVID-19 pandemic, hey, it wasn't something that any of us would have chosen, but it happened and it's changed things forever. A wise mentor once told me that you cannot find new treasure using an old treasure map, and it's true. Now, we all need a new map in a post-pandemic world. There is tremendous opportunity in the coming years for those that are prepared and know where to look. And that is the focus of this new book, to give you a clear indication of what has changed, what's coming next, and what it will take to win in the new now.